Well, hi everyone, this is Bob the Science Guy, and today let's talk about the moon. For many people first starting to get into astronomy, the moon is one of their first targets. Now, there's a lot of structures that are easily visible, even with the naked eye on the moon. The problem is that they all have names that are Latin or Greek or German, because anything that's important should be named in Latin, Greek, or German. But it's a daunting task to try and memorize all of this. So let's see if we can figure out an easier way to learn the moon. Now, while many of us know about the man in the moon, let me introduce you to the rabbit in the moon. Now, on the left, we just have a shot of the moon, and on the right, we have the rabbit in the moon. Now, notice that there are two C's that are up here, and those, of course, are the rabbit's ears. Here is the rabbit's head. Here is the breast, the body, and even the little bunny tail here. Now, this is an image of the full moon that I took, and let's go ahead and see if we can identify the features. Here are the ears. Here's the top of the head. Here is the snout. Here is the breast of the rabbit, the body of the rabbit, and, of course, his tail. Now, every good story has its start, and we're going to start with this object right here, this very easy to identify round C called the Mare Crisium, or the Sea of Crisis. The Mare Crisium is on the eastern side of the moon. This is actually rotated a little bit. This is the north up here. So that would be the eastern limb of the moon. Let's identify it on my picture. So in my picture, the Sea of Crisis is right here at the top. Once again, this is the eastern side of the moon. That's the north there. Now, once we've identified the Sea of Crisis, we go to the first bunny ear. And that first ear is called the Sea of Fertility. The next ear will be the Sea of Nectar. So fertility is first, nectar is next. The top of the bunny head is this dark sea right here called the Sea of Tranquility, and the snout is the Sea of Serenity. Now, next to the Sea of Serenity, we have the Sea of Showers. That's this round object right here. And one of the features that you'll see for the Sea of Showers is the crater Plato. Now, as the bunny runs through the winter landscape, it gets a cap of snow on its breast, and that's quite cold, so this is called the frigid sea right here. Now, the majority of this area down in here is called the Ocean of Storms. Now, what's interesting about the Ocean of Storms? Well, it's these three craters right here. This one is called Copernicus, this one is called Kepler, and out here we have Aristarchus, the bright crater. Now, what's interesting about this? Well, when they were naming the features on the moon, they wanted to honor some of the giants of astronomy. For example, Kepler, Copernicus, and Aristarchus. However, they didn't want to run afoul of the church. So what they did was they happened to find these craters that were located in the Ocean of Storms. They named them after these astronomers. And when the church looked at it, they said, well, they'll all be seasick, so we're cool with that. Now, another interesting feature is this crater right here, which is the crater Tycho. And that, of course, is very famous from 2001: A Space Odyssey, because that was the home of Tycho Magnetic Anomaly number 1. When they uncovered it and exposed it to sunlight, it sent a radio signal to Jupiter, starting the entire plotline of the movie. Now, in addition to Tycho, we have this crater over here, which denotes the western side of the moon, and this is the crater Grimaldi. Just to the east of the Ocean of Storms, towards the Sea of Crisis, is this small area right here that appears to have a large number of dots or islands in it. This is called the Sea of Islands. Now, finally, up top near the rabbit's neck is this sea right here. And as you can tell, here's the head, and trailing out from behind the head and neck is this sea, which looks like a bridal veil. And since that starts with a V, we're going to call that the Sea of Vapors. Now, the only remaining three C's that we're going to talk about in this series are these three C's down here by the rabbit's tail. Now, unfortunately, when they were naming these, they were getting a little tired of dealing with this stuff on the moon, and they were getting a little punchy. So they went ahead and named them, and the Pope looked over the list, and he was fine with most of it until we got down to these last three C's. Now, these aren't really suitable because they'll cause every middle school science class to descend into chaos as soon as the teacher says their names. So, for example, he said, we know what's right underneath a rabbit's tail, but we will not be calling it the Ocean of Turds. This will not become the Sea of Pee-Pee, and this will not become the Sea of Farts. By now, one of the nuns in the group was giggling uncontrollably, And the Pope finally said, look, you're all grown people. You need to act like it. Let's come up with some new names. We're not going to call this the ocean of turds. We all know what's there, so we're going to call it just the sea that is known. The sea of pee-pee became the sea of moisture. Appropriate, still gets the message through, but a little more palatable to young minds. And finally, instead of the sea of farts, we're going to call this the sea of clouds. So, we have the sea of islands, we have the sea that is known, because we all know what's there. We have the sea of moisture, the sea of clouds, and finally, the sea of vapors. And those are the major seas of the moon, my friend. Tell me you won't remember them now. This is Bob the Science Guy. Take care and clear skies.